Alright, guys, back to another episode of Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, Miles Edgeworth. Last time, we were in the cargo hold investigating all we can about the statue, and it turns out the timing of itself feels like Miss Meele could be the prime suspect in this case. Miss Meele. Miss Meele. Huh? Do you recall what you said earlier about when you answered some service calls as we were departing from Zengfa? Huh? She's so out of it. You said that Mr. Hicks was sitting in his seat at that time. However, that is simply not possible, because Mr. Hicks was dead long before we ever touched down at Zengfa. Oh. Miss Cammy Meele. Maybe I didn't see what I thought I did. No one can make a mistake so large, Miss Meele. But I did make that kind of boo-boo all that time. Ugh. This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction. Very well, Miss Meele, if you please tell me about your alibi during the time span. From just before we were able to land from 3 AM to 6 AM when the body was found. Are you telling me I'm a suspect, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, you are, it seems. She's so she's ready to crash out, boys. Oh yeah. From 3 to 4, I was, in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self. Yeah. And from 5 to 6, I was in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self. The fuck? That's not a good alibi. How is a man supposed to react to testimony like that? Miss Meele, wake up. She's so out. She fell asleep again. It looks like the only way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her. True. Hold it! Miss Meele, wake up. I'm awake. Miles Edgeworth, I demand you do something about this flight attendant this instant. Or else I'll just whip her. Why ask me to wake her when you can literally finally put that whip to appropriate use? True, you could have used this whip, by the way. I mean, look at her.
Hold it!
If I remember correctly, food was being served in the first class in the lounge between the hours of 3 and 4 AM. Yeah, but that kind of stuff's run by Miss Rhoda. Now, what were you doing in the attendance room at that time? Eating and then having a most delicious dream. You mean you were neglecting your duties? No way, sleeping's part of the job too, you know.
Hold it!
Hold it. Miss Meele, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Wake up! I'm awake. Shh, for fuck's sakes, Meele. We're trying to solve a serious crime right now. Can I whip her, Mr. Edgeworth? Ouch, why did you whip me for, sir? You should be whipping her. Ouch. Ooh, what did I miss? A poor detective being on the receiving end of a lash in your stead. Really? Oh, sorry about that. You can make amends for that by continuing with your testimony. And from 5 to 6 hours, I'm in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self.
Hold it!
So you were alone in the entire time, were you? Yeah, no one else even popped their head in to say hi. Oh? Well, I think a contradiction just popped in to say hi. What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Don't raise an objection! Maybe not yet. She hasn't exactly given me much to object to, but yet, after all. And what did I miss? Finally awake, are we? What did you mean? I've been awake all this whole time. Man. Oh, it's alright if you were sleeping, pal. Pay no mind to the scruffy detective beside you and wake up. Yo, wait! Hurry up and wake up, Miss Meele. I don't know why I'm getting whipped today. Enough of the clowning around. This is my show and I will resolve the contradictions. I object. I raise an objection. Miss Meele, there's a clear contradiction with your testimony. Huh? What are you talking about? It's not possible that you were alone in the attendance room the whole time from 5 to 6 a.m. Hmm. 5 to 6 a.m. Drinks, blah, blah, blah. Could it be this? I mean, it could be this, no?
Take that!
Now take a look at this eye-opening piece of evidence. Cute. Miss Meele, I need you to wake up and take a look at this. Enough of your foolishness, now show us the real evidence. I guess this wasn't as eye-opening as I thought. Well, this is, kind of awkward. Guess I was wrong with that? Okay. Okay. Maybe I'm right about pressing.
Hold it!
Okay. What is the evidence we're looking for? Because the suitcase. I think it's the suitcase. It has to be, right? If I thought the testimony was flawed, maybe it had something to do with the suitcase. Yeah, it has to do with the suitcase.
Take that!
Oh no, I fucked up. Maybe I fucked up again. Maybe I'm right about something. I just don't know what. Maybe it's not the suitcase. Maybe it's something else. But I'm right about this. Not gonna lie. Okay, I'm gonna literally save the game just in case because we could fail. Honestly, I do not want to fail.
Hold it!
Okay. What is it? Is it this? That you bought the suitcase? Timestamp said it left the attendance room at 5:40 a.m. Maybe it's this.
Take that!
Okay, it is that. I wonder if you'd be so kind to take a look at this receipt, Miss Meele. Huh? A receipt? For what? It's for the suitcase Miss Tenero bought. If I may direct your attention to the timestamp. As you can see, it clearly says 5:40 a.m., Miss Tenero. Yes. Huh? Why is the killer here? I thought you had locked her up by now. I requested she be present as a witness so we can straighten out your complex lie. Now then, Miss Tenero, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., you took the trip from first class down to first floor in-flight shop, correct? Yes, I went to the shop to buy a suitcase, after all, which I went straight to the attendance room to drop it off. And did you see Miss Meele there at the time? No. So, Miss Meele, where were you really between the hours of 5 to 6 a.m.? Miss Cammy Meele. Huh? Oh, the bathroom? I'll be the one to ask the questions here. Yeah, maybe that's it. I probably just missed it, you know? Nature calls, you know? Do you take me for a fool? That's a little too convenient to be true. But it is the truth. Cross my heart. Enough conclusive proof to counter-argue her at this stage. You don't believe me, do you? But please, won't you give me a chance to hear me out? Another testimony. Look, I know you're suspecting me because I'm one of the crew. But you think I maybe should suspect Miss Rhoda too. She's the one in charge of the elevator keycard in the shop, you know. And if you ask me, that makes her super suspicious. Please leave Miss Tenera out of the conversation. Only you are under suspicion for now. I don't get it. Why are you covering for Miss Rhoda all of a sudden? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you've got your eye on Miss Rhoda. No. Of course I'm keeping an eye on her, but I can't very well escape. Let her escape, can I? Never mind, but you want to know something? Miss Rhoda actually kind of I absolutely have no interest in people who can't appreciate my sense of design. Now's not the time for this sort of talk. You know what? Edgeworth did hurt her feelings, so that's his fault, so...
Hold it!
Okay. No, it's not the only reason I have for suspecting you. Your statements regarding Mr. Hicks turn out to be a bunch of lies. But I say it wasn't attended. You wouldn't suspect me then, would you? Yes, I suppose that's true enough.
Hold it!
She is already being detained for further questioning, or have you already forgotten? Oh, guess yeah, I just forgot. Cammy, please don't tell me you suspect me too. I'm sorry, can't help it. I mean, other than you, there's no one else who could have done it. I can't believe you would think that. I mean, me, a killer? Miss Meele, what do you mean just by no one else could have done it?
Hold it!
And what are you in charge of, Miss Meele? I take care of the attendance room. That does not count. Aw, I've spent so much time in there, it might as well be my responsibility. Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Cammy's very talented in languages. She assists passengers who may not speak English, especially those who speak Borginian. She's the only one in this flight who's fluent. Oh, you meant that kind of... What am I in charge of? Why didn't you say so in the first place? What else could I have meant? Yeah, so I'm really good at Borginian. She's fluent in Borginian? I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Borginia. Guinean. Yes, I take care of anything that has to do with Borginian. Very interesting.
Hold it!
Actually, your on-the-job behavior makes you super suspicious in my eyes. Huh? But why? While Miss Tenero's busy with the passengers and all the other duties, you have a lot of free time on your hands, thus providing you with ample time to commit the crime.
Objection!
Miles Edgeworth, I demand you cease and desist this line of conjectural questioning. I won't allow you to bluff your way through like a certain defense lawyer. Not like that. I do not honestly believe Miss Meele does not have any actual work about her this flight. Oh, that's not true, Mr. Edgeworth, although, well...
Hold it!
So what exactly do you do as the one in charge of some Borginian stuff? I do stuff like translate things from into Borginian. Cam is the only member of the crew who can understand Borginian, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Meele, I take it that is your job to process the Borginian paperwork. Yes, see, I totally pull my weight around here. So it appear. Perhaps I should ask her a few more details about her work and... Miss Meele, it's unladylike to put suspicion onto someone else. And that's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying that Miss Rhoda is very sus. Bro, they're using the word sus in this fucking game. I knew they changed up the writing. And there you go, pushing everything onto her again.
I don't get what you're saying. But it must be really abstract concept, huh?
The only thing abstract here is the landscape inside your head.
What do I even present in this situation? The key card is important too, so... The phone, missing cell phone is also another thing. Is there anything really suspicious about this? Why is this a thing?
Jewels in the eye sockets. They were made onto to look like just like real gems. Oh, so you mean these aren't real? You really think the forgers will waste that kind of money on a replica? I guess not. Oh, I just got a really great idea. I could probably find some rocks down by that river so I could polish up to look like real jewels. I think I'll try that out to give Maggie as a present next time. I wonder if he's very serious, or I wonder if I should try to stop him if he is.
Okay. I think I'm gonna save again. Just in case something goes fuck up, right? Okay. Burgundian stuff. Do I present this? The certificate?
Objection!
I knew it! You are in charge of this, huh? So you are the only one in this far crew that speaks Burgundian. Is that correct?
Huh, oh yeah, I guess so. I studied abroad in Burgundy for a while.
If that is the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose. To lead anyone who read it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue was loaded in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed this document in Burgundian is you, Miss Meele. Without your participation, the smuggling of the Alif Red cannot have occurred.
She's not showing her evil side.
And don't see why I'm pointing my finger at you. Uh-oh.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of just falling asleep on you, Mr.
Her demeanor has changed. Oh shit.
It is exactly as you say.
Are you confessing to having participated in the smuggling?
No, far from it. It's true that I was the one who signed off on that document. But you can't use that fact alone to make your allegation of smuggling stick. There's no direct correlation after all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper.
Really now? All you did was sign it?
I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded on the plane properly. So sorry about that.
It seems she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight.
Suppose, and this is only a supposition, that even I was involved in the smuggling. He can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that. Huh? If you were involved in the smuggling, then you would have a strong motive to kill. Agent Hicks was in the middle of an investigation regarding the smuggling ring, and just when he was about to close it, he's killed by a member of that ring. Well, did you ever think that maybe Rhoda is just a smuggling ring member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work's purposes.
Bubbles? So perhaps there is some element of a setup at play in this case.
What are you talking about?
Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you, I meant the killer. First it was myself, and now it's Miss Tenero who's under the microscope. It seems to me that our killer is going to going to great lengths to pin this crime on anyone they can.
You have no proof that Rhoda is being set up or that she isn't.
Actually, I believe that she was indeed an intended target from the very beginning. I believe the plan was to push all the blame for the crime onto her. And this evidence will prove my suspicions. Prove that the killer was out to frame Miss Tenero from the very beginning.
Is it the suitcase, right?
It has to be, no?
Take that!
The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, and yet they chose the suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body up from the lower deck to the first floor? However, it got way through with the trouble to do so. This specific suitcase, by the way. Oh, she's getting upset. The only way all these actions make very sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss Tenero for the murder. And Miss Tenero buys a suitcase every flight she works without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately for the killer, the turbulence put an end to that plan. And there wasn't enough time to put the body back into the suitcase. Ergo, they made do with whoever was at hand, adapted their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. And the killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop, and brought the piggy bank to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. And a lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree?
Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway?
That is because the special circumstances surrounding this particular case. What special circumstances dictated the need for the killer to frame someone?
Where the murder took place.
The special circumstance is simply that the murder took place on a plane mid-flight. No matter which country, customs is quite strict on this day and age. So no matter what you do, the chances of that the body will be found is very high. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Miss Tenero or myself. In other words, the only one who could fit within the boundaries of this criminal's movements is not Miss Tenero or myself, but you, Miss Cammy Meele, and only you alone could be the killer.
And?
Question mark?
Are you done already? I was just about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence.
Cell phone is left. Gah! I could see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. And this isn't a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for. Isn't there a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for? Something that I still can't quite fit into the big picture.
Cell phone. It's been missing the entire time.
Take that!
I don't have any actual evidence.
I thought not.
But that's because it went missing and it still is.
Missing? What do you mean by that?
In the complex puzzle in this case, there was one piece I kept getting stuck on, and that is the victim's cell phone. Francisca, you were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hicks' cell phone. Or at least that's what you told me.
That's right.
But Agent Hicks' cell phone cannot be found at the crime scene.
You mean the killer took the phone with them?
Precisely. I suspect that if we were to find that phone, it would lead us to the killer.
Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well?
We won't know until we try a little experiment, will we? Francisca, I'd like to ask for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, do you not?
Of course I do.
Agent Hicks's phone is ringing from somewhere, sir. I hear it, Detective. Now, where is it coming from? Miss Meele, wake up.
I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I got sleepy all of a sudden because it sounds like a lullaby I used to love as a child.
I better find that cell phone fast. Terminate the real crime scene. I was left to catch the killer. Sounds like the phone is up in the flight attendant's room. We better hurry to the flight attendant's room, sir.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Don't worry, Miss Tenera. I will get to the bottom of this and find the truth. So please wait here until I return.
Alright, thank you for all you're doing, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like it's coming from the flight attendant's room.
I agree, but please don't hang up just yet. Let me find it first.
That's fine, but let me get this one thing straight.
Yes?
Don't you dare answer his phone when you find it, understand?
I understand that you don't want to pay for the call. That's what you're worried about? Yes, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, it sounds like the cell phone's in the flight attendant's room, sir. Indeed, we should move to retrieve it at once. The ringing's coming from somewhere in here, sir. Let's leave no stone on... Detective Gumption, let's find it. Sends me over. Now let's look somewhere else, sir. Seems like the phone got mixed in with the items lost and found pile. It's not like the victim would have just dropped somewhere, sir. I wonder if it might be inside this suitcase. I don't hear any sounds coming from inside, sir. I was supposed the culprit might have been so dumb as to try the same trick twice. The ring's coming from somewhere around here. But it's not here, sir. But why do I have such a bad feeling about where we're going to find the phone? It's from here, sir. What the? Wait, no, it can't be. This has got to be the victim's cell phone. Just whose locker is this? Oh no. It's Miss Tenero's. NANI?! Oh shit. That's not good.
So, Mr. Edgeworth, how did it go? Where did you find the phone?
I found it in the flight attendant's room, in Miss Tenero's locker.
Nani? But... Rhoda Tenero? I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. I swear it wasn't me. It's fun karma, is it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Tenero right away.
Objection!
I object! Wait, I have a theory. This is related to the incident with the keycard. When the killer went to steal the keycard, they conveniently stashed the cell phone in Miss Tenero's locker at the same time.
Objection!
This is related to the keycard, alright? In the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that. Uh-oh.
Ugh.
The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. And as the only bird we cannot ignore.
What should I do? Francisca's right. I can't offer baseless conjectures at this point. Alright then. Why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? It must have been something very incriminating on it. Or in it.
Hold it!
What now, Miles Edgeworth?
It's not over just yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the cell phone in the first place.
Nani?
Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. We examine this phone for more detail. The LCD is broken. Without a screen, you can't even place a call with this. Oh, it's a camera lens. Come to think of it, I wonder, how exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of a smuggling? Francisca, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures? Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know about this kind of basic stuff, sir. There's obviously a lens.
This looks like a very similar model to my own. And mine can take photos just fine.
Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this? In particular, pictures of evidences for a smuggling case? If so, there may be some inconvenient photos in here for a killer's smuggler. But the phone's all busted up, sir.
Even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone.
Gah! I'll find a way, don't you worry about that.
On. I go back to sleep now.
Objection!
The LCD screens inside are outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason enough to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data. Nani?
What do you mean by that, Francisca?
It looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. His phone still rang when I called it, meaning that only the LCD screens are broken. It's possible that the photos are still inside, waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data onto my phone.
Francisca, your phone if you please.
Very well. It's transferring, alright, displaying it now.
This is...
Agent Hicks was certainly most trying to obtain some evidence for the smuggling case.
Hey, the leaf red's nowhere in this pic, sir.
But this has no meaning of a piece of evidence in this murder case, right?
Oh, she's right. There's not much we can find out from this Agent Hicks killer, sir. Is this it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing in this folder that we can use?
Fuck. Is there really no other thing? Fuck.
What is it?
Fuck. This is bad. What part of the place is the evidence in? We're in tight danger right now. I see nothing in here that can, like... Boxes?
What's all this?
Oh, they are just cargo ship from Burgundy to Zhengfa.
So the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped off at Zhengfa. Mr. LeBlanc, could you tell me the contents of these boxes? Unfortunately, there's no English written on them anywhere.
One cluster box is written in Burgundian. It says is cloth in English.
Cloth? Could it be? Is this where the killer?
What is that? What for is that scary face?
Miss Meele.
Yes?
It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. Oh? He left us with a piece of evidence after all. A striking piece that will point out who the killer is.
Huh. Maybe you shouldn't force your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth.
We're getting cargo and pieces of evidence will point us straight to the killer.
There's no way it's the piggy bank, right? No, it's not. The cargo, no?
Take that!
Do you care to fill me in what you're trying to prove with that?
It is quite simple. It shows that I will be representing my evidence.
Okay. I'm not laughing.
It wasn't meant to be a laughing matter.
I feel like... Ah, shit. What is it? Are you sure I'm not right on this? I feel like I'm right on this, no? Fuck, it has to be this, no? I might be right on this, no? Oh my god. Maybe it's the... Nah. Is it the cloth? There's no way, right?
Take that!
And what is that supposed to prove? The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilled. But there's one thing that bothered me with this whole time. Where did it come from? And now I have finally found my answer in this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in Zengfa had cloth written on it. In Burgundian, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed a piece from to clean up the blood with. So it was open. That's right. The killer was someone who could read and understand Burgundian. And the only crew member that fits the description is you, Miss Cammy Meele. Huh, that's pretty flimsy. But the killer probably searched through the boxes for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is in English or Burgundian.
Objection!
I object! Sorry, but I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature. What? Nani? There was no need for the killer to tear through the boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Burgundian, well then. Logically, the killer would open this box first. The bed sheets?
Take that!
Hey, it says bed sheets in English right on the box. Oh yeah! But they didn't. Precisely, and the bed sheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say? So what are you trying to say? That if I were the criminal, this box of bed sheets would have been what I would have been spotted first. However, the killer chose to use some Burgundian cloth. Do you have an explanation for that? The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold. So they were afraid to leave signs for the box for the sheets to have been opened. But however, the Burgundian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color. Well, because the killer knew it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Zengfa? That's precisely right. That's why Burgundian cloth was used. And the only Burgundian reader on board who could make such a calculated decision is you, Cammy Meele. You and you alone. Nyeh. It would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. And all we would have to do is contact Zengfa at the authorities at the time. We may even find some other evidence to incriminate the killer within those boxes. So what do you say, Miss Meele? Want to confess to the crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from an investigation in Zengfa? Anyway? And she's done. And that's how they break down. He was in Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here. I started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared. I was in trouble. She was scared of her identity being found out, huh? I see. We finished making the arrangements to take the suspect in, sir. Excellent work, Detective. Well, what about smuggling the route? Did she say anything about that? They're taking her down to precinct now, and hopefully we can get more out of her there. Whenever we even approached the topic, she just started foaming at the mouth. It was very scary, sir. She probably wasn't prepared to commit a murder all of a sudden. One thing is for sure, the ring behind this whole mess means serious business. It looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. Mr. Edgeworth, I just want to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much. It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking you for your cooperation. But truly, if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now. Instead, I can continue to serve our passengers as a flight attendant. I hope that... Well, please accept this token of my appreciation. That's... I see. You don't have to take it if you don't want it.
No, I mean I would never turn down a lady's generous offer.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm sure it will serve you well. And remember, we here at Go You Airlines are always ready to serve, Mr. Edgeworth.
Thank you, I'll keep that in mind.
I must bid you farewell. May all your skies be blue no matter where you go.
Iksa game, thank you.
I can't believe we went on investigating the whole day, sir. Boy, that was sure fun.
Speak for yourself, my day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges. By the way, where's Francisca?
Oh, she's filling out some custom paperwork for her departure.
Departure?
Oh yeah, Miss Von Karma's always really busy, sir. She's been really flying from country to country to chase down some leads regarding her case.
Detective, can you cancel the card I had you reserve earlier?
You got it, sir.
We're gonna meet up with Von Karma or something?
Francisca.
I told you I would first landed. I have no time for idle chatter.
I have no interest in wasting your time. However, it has been a while since we last met.
I have no time for such familiar reminiscences. Yes, who do you think I am?
You are Francisca Von Karma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect.
Only a little while ago, I was but a wretched mutt who was always losing to you. And a dancing Pierrot living her life on the name of fame and her invincible father belt.
True, your father, Infred Von Karma, didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. However, I wouldn't say he was invincible.
What are you talking about? The group I am on the trail is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time was only a sliver of the big picture.
It sounds like a dangerous assignment.
You really don't have to worry, but I can take care of myself.
Yes, I suppose you can.
I hope. To be honest, I hope she's fine. After all this. Plus, there's another agent on this case with me.
Oh, another agent.
He's a star among Interpol agents. He has the highest successful arrest rate. Who knows, you may even run to him one day.
I was simply caught up in this one case. I hardly can see why we would cross paths.
I suppose. I doubt he would say the same thing.
And I'm not following you.
You'll understand soon enough. The fight has only just begun, Miles Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back in full.
And just like that, she's gone, huh, sir?
Yep.
Thank goodness I could finally rest easy knowing I won't have to watch out for her whip, even though how many times I got whipped by? So many times.
Detective Gumshoe, I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation.
Oh, it was nothing, sir. I was just happy to be able to work with you again. Ho ho. I think I'm gonna celebrate by adding a little extra salt to my instant noodles tonight.
Why the fuck would you add extra salt?
Just how much do you cut his salary by, Francisca? Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office.
Oh, sure thing, sir. I even fly down the road to the patrol car if you want.
Don't make me remind you, Detective. Safety first. And thus I solved the first case upon my arrival home. Francisca Von Karma, the smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put her trump card into play. And the players on the other side of this war, they would begin to make themselves known through the next incident. Oh? Edgeworth speaking.
Oh, finally, I called who knows how many times earlier I couldn't get through.
And you are?
Oh, have you forgotten my voice, Miles, my boy?
Mr. Amano. Ernest Amano, correct?
Ah, so you do remember me. I know it's rather sudden, but I can't ask this of anyone else. There's been an incident, Miles. My son. He's been kidnapped.
Huh.
To be continued. I guess we're gonna have to figure that out in the next case, shall we? Dun dun dun.
And that is it for today's episode. Completing episode 2 of the second case of the game. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys all next time.